FPS Tracker Radio.
I spill my drink.
FPS Tracker Radio.
Playing the best tunes in town.
The very best indeed. Good evening, everybody. It is time for the second ever FPS Tracker Radio. Hello, Evalinda boy. You said Unreal. More or less, we're going to talk about, not today, but like in this whole Tracker Radio thing that I've established. I think at some point we will be talking about Unreal for sure. But the intent of this program of mine on my streams, I don't know, is just to play first and foremost amazing tracker music that I've just found all over the internet, mainly from two grand places, Mod Archive as well as Exotica's own how would I say it, a module archive called Modland. And Modland is probably where I've got most of these trackers. This last track was, it's got a weird name, but it's by a Polish composer, Falcon, and the track name is Oral Loves Children. I don't know why, but sometimes it's just the tracker, both the names and then the samples that I used. Even in this sample, in this track, there's a sample from Animal House. It's who's the actor? John Vernon saying, "Every Halloween, trees are filled with underwear. Every spring, the toilets explode." It's just, I don't know, the weirdest of sentences used in songs like this, and somehow they fit. And this was a beautiful little track. But yeah, today the agenda is to, of course, play a bunch of tracker music until let's see, it's 8 p.m. Central Europe time, and that would be in 1 hour and 45 minutes, because then we're doing our Eurobros community session, as we always do every week. We're continuing our Sunlost Supercharged co-op playthrough, which we kind of set on a pause 3 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, we did that, then we did Bloodsport Deathmatch, and just last week we did a total of 100 weeks in Eurobros community session, but this is the 101st week. We're continuing Sunless Supercharged co-op, finally. But until then, until we start, we're going to play some tracker music, as well as I have a few topics to talk about here. Some recent news I've gathered here. We're going to be talking about Relentless Frontier releasing in early access. Sulaco and Gloomwood reaching overwhelmingly positive on Steam. And some talk about potential, this is just highly speculative, but some talk about a potential Night Dive Quake 3 remaster. Would it work? What parts of it would work? What parts of it would make it so that is it really that worth it? We're going to be talking about that a little bit later. But for now, we have a bit of music here. I just compiled a list of 157 trackers here, which I don't think we're going to play them all until, an hour and 45? Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, XM Play here says it would take 11 hours and 30 minutes to play all these tracks. Just 157 that I've gathered up here. The total count of my music here on the list is about 2,200 something. I already forgot. And no, in fact, I could check here. Without going into this, there you go, nearly 2,300, 2,290 tracks. We're not going to play them all, but we're going to play some really good ones that I've gathered on the queue here. I think after the next few tracks, we're going to be talking a little bit about Relentless Frontier releasing in early access very recently. But yeah. Before that, we have, let's see, CK Eds, a Finnish composer's track. I think I played this in the last FPS Tracker Radio at the very beginning. I don't think many people got to hear it, but it's an awesome freaking track. Evalinda boy, you are certainly a fan of Unreal, so I think this is the sort of track that would fit. I don't know about Unreal Tournament 99, maybe that, but the sort of has the sound of Unreal Tournament 2004 more than 99, in my own opinion. It's so high quality and at the same time just has so much energy into it. So here we go. CK and Ayulan incoming now.
FPS Tracker Radio.
I spill my drink.
FPS Tracker Radio.
That was CKN and Ayulin. I don't even know how to pronounce that name. The name of the track there. Ayulin, Ayolan. I have not. Sometimes these tracker names are just beyond me. They are either weird or just unpronounceable sometimes. But it's a brilliant freaking track. Like I said, very energetic, and I don't know. It's I can't really find the right sort of word to say, like what would fit for it, like what sort of game or stuff like it. It's just some like noir cartoony type thing, or maybe even like an arena FPS, like an Unreal Tournament or something like that. But on to the let's see. First new that I've gathered here. Relentless Frontier Episode 1 is out now on Early Access, and the game itself has just launched in Early Access, which was very much anticipated. It was, well, I'm going to actually talk about the delay a little bit later, but I'm going to read the game release post on Steam of Relentless Frontier Episode 1. Is out now. The bugs will never know what hit him. It's bug stomping day. Will you be doing your part? 3 dots question mark. Relentless Frontier is out now on Early Access. Grab a copy and shoot, /smash, /burn, /explode, /evaporate, /perturb every bug you can get your grubby mitts on. Spot any bugs on a technical variety, report them on the forums immediately. And yeah, this is where I'm going to mention the that speaking of bugs, Relentless Frontier's Early Access release was postponed, well, delayed in other words, for a week because of some unforeseen critical bugs that were found, but thankfully fixed in that time of the release. And yeah, Hellforge Studios, as well as the development team of Relentless Frontier, doing a brilliant job, just honing the very, very smallest rough edge. And just, yeah, fine-tuning that and making the game as good as they can. And so far, it's gotten a very, very good reception. Looking at the store page, it's only got, let's see, I don't know if you heard the trailer. I don't think the desktop audio is on yet. But funnily enough, it's only been out for a few days. But it's gotten very positive reviews. And I have to say about Relentless Frontier, it's probably right after Age of Hell. I don't really know how to say this properly because I was thinking of really expressing it correctly, but probably the most successfully marketed game by Hellforge Studios. But like, that's not to say that the other games they are publishing or the developers of Hellforge Studios are making aren't badly marketed. No, not at all. The thing is, I think Age of Hell and particularly Relentless Frontier caught the eyes of some bigger like streamers at the same time, and it made it very, very successful in that sense. And it's really good to see. And it was first, I think the Early Access stuff was first announced in Slim Bradsky's little FPS showcase, which he did all by himself. That Chad mentioned that on the first FPS Tracker Radio thing I did. But yeah, that still had the July 17th release date. Only very recently, I think it was 2 weeks ago, Hellforge Studios had to announce that there's some critical bugs still going on, but we can fix those in a week, and they sure did. Now it is out in Early Access. Go ahead and try it. In fact, I can copy you the link to the Steam page. It is currently 10% off. You can also download the Relentless Frontier demo. And at the same time, if you do buy the game, you can still keep the demo. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about very, very shortly in this FPS Tracker Radio. But yeah, a lot of wish lists have gone into this particular game. But the yeah, it's got an introductory offer of 10% off on the price. Normal price is, this is in euros, 14.79, and the current price with the discount is 13.31 euros. And yeah, it's really, really good price. Can recommend. I did try the demo, and I do have to get into the actual Early Access portion of the whole game. I'm still at the demo phase of the game, so yeah, it is definitely worth a try, at least for the demo. But I do recommend buying the entire game. Yeah, it's very, very lots of congrats to Chris Odin and Dr. Destructo for developing the game. I think Kevin Simmons was also helping the programming part of that. And then Jimmy and Velvetic, also known as the Malaforce, doing the soundtrack for that with Primeval. And I think that's about it. I think Corzodi mainly did like the level design stuff. Dr. Destructor was mainly part of the coding design side, with Kevin Simmons helping on that as well. And yeah, it's a hell of a thing, this game. Can recommend it. Hellforge Studios themselves had a release party of Relentless Frontier just two days ago. Bridgeburner was playing it on his stream, and yeah, it looked very promising to even people who hadn't even seen it yet. It's very worth a watch. I don't even know if Bridge has his like mods like disabled on visibility automatically. Twitch just does Twitch things, so it's not really anything that he's done deliberately. It's just Twitch stuff. But if you can see it, the past VOD, then go ahead and watch that. Bridgeburner playing it on. It wasn't exactly on release. I mean, 24th was on Wednesday. Yeah, and Bridge only had the time to play it on the 26th, just 2 days ago, so it wasn't exactly a release, like a release party on the release date, but it was as soon as it was possible to arrange, and it was a hell of a release party. But yeah, go ahead and at least wishlist Relentless Frontier, play its demo at the very least, if you're not going to plan to purchase it very yet. Very yet, is that even a phrase in English? I have no idea. English is only my second language. But yeah. More music, and afterwards we're going to talk about the free demos updates on Steam, and but yeah, before that we have some Muffler, I believe. And Muffler is a tracker composer that's also Finnish. Most of these tracker composers just happen to be Finnish. I have no idea what. The whole scene exploded in Finland, and the assemblies, for example, happening twice a year, are still going, and they have a brilliant collection of just demo scene competitions, and music in general is just fascinating that thing is still going on, and it is still based on Finland. But yeah, Muffler, and the tracker is called Rum with 2 M's, and Muffler is the sort of, I don't know, does very experimental tracks, but mostly he does like drum and bass or trance stuff, or just some dark technology or technological industrial techno, I don't know what even to call it, but it's just electronic music in any case. So let's see. Just gonna do the proper jingle. I actually have 2 new jingles. The one of the new ones you may have already heard. That was the Duke Nukem saying just play the best tunes in town. But I have another one actually that I made. I'm planning to make more even. I just need some ideas like what to put into the jingles. But I'm gonna play another new jingle as well that I made just for this FPS Tracker Radio. But yeah, this is Muffler and Rum.
FPS Tracker Radio. Impressive. FPS Tracker Radio.
That was Muffler and Rum. A very, like, winter-sounding tracker, I think. It would probably fit for a very, I don't know. I'm just thinking of the newer deathmatch map sets that the Mechanics Union and Rusking and Hey Daddy and the St. Jonum community have done very well in the recent years. Well, I say recent years, it's the past nearly a decade already since they made DBAB, I think. Well, actually, I think it has been. But in any case, they use tracker music a whole lot, and for the latest thing, Freyon deathmatch that Rusking and Hey Daddy and Rasgris did, has a lot of wintry tracks. I think this would have also fitted that quite well. But if there's another one made by whoever, deathmatch map set that has like a sort of wintry or a ice cold theme, that this would probably fit for a very good track in that one. But on to the next news piece that I have listed here: free demos update on Steam, or as Steam themselves say on this regular update they've posted just 2 days ago, that updates to free demos on Steam. With thousands of playable demos launching on Steam every year and millions of players trying them out, in brackets often as part of Steam Next Fest, we've noticed some trends in feedback from both developers and players about the process and functionality. We've put together an update based on that feedback. As a reminder, you can always find great demos to play on the Steam Demo Hub, indeed. Demos now behave better in the Steam library. We've made a few updates to how demos appear and behave within the Steam library. Here are the key items. You can add demos to your library without having to immediately install them. Just click on the new Add to Library button next to the demos you may not be ready to install while using the mobile app, for instance. Demos can be installed even if you already own the full game. Primarily, this will make it easier for developers to test demos, but it will also help players more easily manage installing/uninstalling demos. Demos can be explicitly removed from an account by right-clicking Manage Remove from Account. When a demo is uninstalled, it will automatically get removed from your library. This is a really good update overall. Especially for the developers, being able to test the demo separately on Steam as well as just compare it to the game they released. That's a brilliant thing. But the still continues here. Let's see. Demos can now have a separate store page as well, which is interesting. By default, free demos appear as a button on the full game store page, but developers have been asking for a way to enable a full store page to better describe the contents of the demo, add separate screenshots, upload a trailer, and specify supported features, so that it's now possible. And you'll find that clicking on a demo sometimes loads a full demo store page, while other times it will take you to the full games page with a button to install the demo. That's actually a lot better, yeah. Just advertising what's on the demo and then separately advertising what's on the full game would be, or is really good. Now that Steam has enabled it already, it is a very good feature to have. Tight connection with the full game. Standalone demo store pages will automatically display both the demo install button as well as a widget linking back to the full game for players interested in wishlisting on purchasing the full game. User reviews for demos. If developers have chosen to enable a store page for their demo, it will also be possible for players of the demo to post user reviews for the demo. That's also really good, and those will probably be on the separate store page, indeed. Yeah, it says there, if the developers have chosen to enable a store page separately for the demo. These reviews and review score will appear on the demo store page, just like reviews for any other free game on Steam. Note that if the developer has chosen to not have a separate store page for their demo, then user reviews will not be enabled for that demo. I do wonder still if you play a demo, but there's no separate demo store page for that, and I don't think you can actually write a review about that then. I don't know. I've actually never written a review about a demo on Steam ever. It's always been a full game. Well, I guess, yeah, now it's even possible. Well, actually, yeah, it actually says, I don't think it was possible before. Yeah, it says user reviews for demos. It's now possible, so yeah. But it's only if developers have chosen to enable a separate store page for the demo, yeah. Demos now appear more in the Steam store. Very good. Demos now behave more like free games and can appear in all the same sections and lists. For example, demos can now appear on the Steam homepage in charts such as the new and trending on the new on Steam page and on relevant tag and category pages. We've also made some changes to the thresholds for free products to appear in those sections to better balance them with paid products. Of course, you can always find great demos to play on the Steam Demo Hub. Yeah, well, there was already a link in the above there. Wishlist notifications when demos become available. We've now also made it so that when a demo becomes available for the first time for a game that you have been on your Steam wishlist or from a developer you follow, Steam can send you an email and mobile notification about that demo. That's really good. Necrodoom says, demo doesn't even feel like a word anymore. It stands for demonstration, so I don't know. How doesn't it feel like a word anymore? I've never really found an issue with that. It's a demonstration of the like full product. It's not the full product itself, but it's just a demonstration of it. So yeah, I think it makes sense to use it as a how would I put it? Abbreviated word, I guess. When you say a word so many times, you disassociate. Oh. Well, I don't know. I have been saying the word demo probably for 50 times now. So yeah, it's probably. Sorry, it could also be my accent. There's demo. Dang old demos, go and play them. Anyway, you can opt in or out of these emails that Steam can send you about the wishlisting the demo by updating your email preferences. I think this is still very good, like separately wishlisting demos. I do wonder actually if whether this matters or not if the developer creates a separate store page for the demo, because I don't think they mentioned that here. So we've also not made it so that for the first time, okay, you have your Steam wishlist. Yeah, I don't think it needs to be a separate store listing for you to wishlist that demo. I think, yeah, that's really good. Demo Pelly, yeah. Anyway, what I really loved about this article on Steam's own news is the infrequently asked questions, particularly the first question that is listed here. The question goes, what is the deal with the demo icon? Is that a plate? A vinyl record? Record, rather? And the answer is, that classic icon, my friend, is from the days when demos were commonly distributed through the post office, contained in a bound package of game journalism, printed on dead trees and imprinted on circular media known as compact discs. Yeah, that's a real slap in the face for Gen Z. Like, back in my days, we had these things called CDs, with which we distributed our demos, because we couldn't fit the full game in there. I don't know. But, yeah, the rest two questions are actually proper questions. I think they would be a little bit more frequently asked than just, what the hell is this demo icon? Anyway, the next question is, some demos just appeared in my Steam library. How did those get there? And the answer goes, we've made some changes to visibility of demos in the Steam library, which may affect demos that you've played long ago. We've tried our best to clean up the demos that we expect you don't care about anymore, but we may have missed some. You could easily remove those by right-clicking them in your Steam library and selecting Manage Remove from Account. And the third question is, I love free demos. When is the next Steam Next Fest? And the answer goes, check back on October 14th for the next week-long Steam Next Fest, featuring hundreds of free English. New free playable demos. You can sign up for a reminder by visiting the NextFest page now, and it has a link in there. You can check this very news piece or regular update by Steam on Steam's own application, and you see the speaker icon next to your bell icon and your name on the top right corner of your Steam. If you click on the speaker icon, you can view the latest news, and this is the very latest news that Steam has published about the demos. So a very, very good feature to add. Separate listings for demos, it's optional, but if developers want it, then they can have a separate store listing for that. It's really, really good. Wish listing for demos, very good. And in general, just the whole practical use of that feature is very good for developers testing their demos versus testing their full game. Or it doesn't even have to be developers. They can just I don't know, that they can just be any player having the demo separately as well as having the full game. And I think Kex of Romero Games, the administrator of Romero Games, I chatted with him in the Romero Games Discord, and he immediately, when he saw this update for the demos, he just went ahead and installed the Doom 2016 demo and immediately wanted to compare those, because previously he couldn't play it because he already had the full game, but yeah, now he can. Very good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about on the free demos. Oh, except this, we did briefly talk about it on the Hellforge Studios Relentless Frontiers release party on Friday, and we talked about that a little bit, and like people were just wondering, like, why was this added just now, and what the fuck, and even though demos have been a thing for forever, the thing is, at the time, in about, I don't know if it was like, if the shareware were like a thing of late 80s, but certainly a 90s and 2000s thing. And those were the what you would call demos back then. Basically just a demonstration of the full game back then. That was shareware. You could just share the copy of that demonstration version of the game, and yeah, that would be the demos back then. But like, yeah, that was really, really huge in the 90s and 2000s, and even since then, like, demos of games have existed for a long time, even after that. But I think it's recently resurfaced as a trend, so that especially indie games just more and more update their demos, and just to want to demo out, of course, first before releasing their game, even on early access. So like, this is a really good update, especially for smaller game developers doing an independent or indie game, and yeah, it's a really good feature to have. And at the time, in the 90s and 2000s, most of those people doing shareware releases were also small companies. So yeah, at the time, sharewares worked for that time, but nowadays we've moved forward so much digitally that yeah, this is a really good step forward from Steam regarding smaller game developers. So yeah, demos really have gotten a really good update on this. But yeah, now more music. I've only gone through, like, I don't know, 4 tracks here, and I kind of wish I had gone through a little bit more, but a little bit Ion Fury soundtrack. This is by Roz, or Jarkko Rutsten. I think this is actually from the Aftershock DLC, which I have yet to play. Really looking forward to starting that, but right now it is in my backlog, because a lot of boomer shooters are in my backlog right now. But yeah, it is a good track. It's called Top, and yeah, I think this is not in the main game, this is in Aftershock. But yeah, let's hear Top by Roz.
FPS Tracker Radio. Impressive. Trucker Radio.
Playing the best tunes in town.
They're very much that, Duke Nukem. Anyway, that was kind of abruptly ended because that track is sort of supposed to loop. It's an in-game track after all. But yeah, that was Top by Roz, or Jarkko Rootsten by his real name. Also a Finnish tracker composer. Would you believe that? What the hell? Most of these are just Finns. Anyway, to the next news piece, a bit of a small thing, although a very remarkable thing for Sulaco and Gloomwood, recently reaching overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. And I first gotta say, Gloomwood did that simply because it's just such a good game, and also Bridgeburner of Hellvoice Studios also pointed that out, that New Blood just gives as a publisher, gives the time for the developers to just develop their game, make it as good as they can, and yeah, that's the result of Gloomwood reaching the overwhelmingly positive reviews, or the result of that is rather that. Anyway, I gotta say, so did Sulaco, just simply by being a good game, but there were some obstacles in the way. Sulaco, when it released, had some... I personally didn't have any issues when I initially played it, like any critical bugs or anything like that, but sometime after the release, the developers of Sulaco, mainly Nextech, I think, announced that they're going to release a big update very soon after the release to address the most major of bugs, even though I didn't encounter any. Like, even before the update, I had such a good experience just playing through the beginning of the game. I have yet to even beat the damn thing. But, yeah, seemingly this updates, I mean, looking at the Twitter post I have linked here, Sulaco, the Twitter account, says that the recent patch bumped us to overwhelmingly positive. This is all because of you guys. Thank you all so much. And that is really good to see. I think the amount of, like, I don't know if they were, like, deliberately negative reviews, but just, like, people who just really had a terrible experience playing that game, then just... They gave the best feedback to develop that big update for Sulaco, so that's really good that they got all of the review, well, not all, but very much most of those reviews bumped to overwhelmingly positive. It's really good, and yeah, I personally didn't notice a thing when Sulaco updated with that big patch. I really didn't notice a difference, but at the same time, I didn't have any, like, issues with the previous patch either. I don't know if there was a specific operating system or something like that. In fact, no, I could actually just check right now. What was Sulaco's last big update? I think Community Hub? There we go. The Mega Update, released on 28th of June, already a month ago. Happy almost 1 month anniversary for Sulaco. Subscription for Alexa has been amazing to us. The goal of this patch. This patch adds a bit more content to the game, improves navigation and signposting in some levels, balance changes, and adds a number of quality of life / convenience features to make the game more fun to play. The main goal here is just to make the game feel a lot better, and I think you will notice that right away. I personally didn't, but if a lot of people did, then it's really good. It is just very nice. And, oh yeah, the Mega Patch also seemingly added the official soundtrack on Steam, Steam trading cards and point shop, added resume game button in the main menu, added level versioning system, added hard-boiled mutator. Oh yeah, I remember that. That wasn't available in the first version, yeah. As well as the armor up mutator, extended bullet casings, graphical settings. What does that mean? Extended bullet casing. That just sounds like they're very long bullet casings. It's like even the freaking SMG casings that I might shoot out of the SMG. They're just like 50 cal long cases. I don't know. I have to actually fiddle with some of those settings, or at least this very setting that's mentioned there. I have no idea how that is, but. Yeah, weapon kit reworks, new weapon upgrades, improved navigation in early levels, improved general feel of the game. I personally didn't notice a difference, but at the same time, I don't know if I even encountered anything terribly wrong. The initial release of the game, in my own opinion, was already excellent. But yeah, this mega update does extend the game a little bit. Like it adds a bit more content to the game. It basically said. I don't know if like the entire game was already complete because it released in early access, but the whole game was essentially done. Like you could beat it from start to finish, but I don't know. I think Bridge also said about 90% of the game is done. Planet. This is a good addition. Blood is now 0.2% more purple. That's very specific. Vacbot pitting and more. Oh my god. Oh, that's amazing. But yeah, the official soundtrack of Sulaco is also available. There's a lot of quality of life updates, mutators, all different stuff. But yeah, this is the very update that, according to Sulaco developers, bumped the reviews to overwhelmingly positive, which is well deserved, and it absolutely should have already gotten that when it released, because yeah, Sulaco is just, when it came out, it was the most anticipated GC Doom release, and still very much is loved by a lot of people. I just have to beat it, for God's sake. But yeah, there's that. This is all I wanted to mention about that. When it comes to Gloomwood, I don't think I even have Gloomwood, do I? I'm just very, very terrible with all my boomer shooters I've gathered over the... Oh, I do have Gloomwood, yeah, there you go. But that got overwhelmingly positive very recently. Recent reviews, overwhelmingly positive, 151. All reviews, 5,000, overwhelmingly positive. And released 2 years ago. I was about to say 2 days ago, but 2 years ago. And yeah, Gloomwood is absolutely worth trying. Dylan Rogers and David Szymanski, amazing developers. Also with them was Nate Behrens and Thomas Porta developing the game. And publisher, of course, New Blood. And yeah, like Bridgeburner said on Twitter about that, just give the, as a publisher, just give the developers the time to develop the game and just make it as good as they can. Even the very, very smallest rough edge has to be ironed, refined, and just make it as good as you can. Over polishing, well, I don't even know if that's a thing in these things. Well, yeah, I don't know. You can add too many features, but at the same time, you can't really just over. I don't know. English is my second language once again, so I don't know what the word for that would be. But yeah, you can't overdone the refining. Is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, more music. This time we have Nags, a Hungarian tracker composer, and I don't even know what the name of this tracker means. I don't know if this is some like excerpt from the Bible, if this is what it means, but it's a bunch of numbers and colons. So it means 1605, 1610. That's the name of the track. Don't ask why, but that's just what it is. So yeah, let Nags play the next track. And yeah, after that, we shall talk about some speculation, very, very speculative thing about a potential Night Dive Quake 3 remaster. But yeah, now Nags and 1605 and 1610.
FPS Tracker Radio.
I spill my drink.
Another brain.
FPS Tracker Radio.
Jesus, okay, there we go. That was Nags and 1605 and 1610. I just have no idea what that name means, but yeah, I don't know. I gotta put some more research on that if those numbers mean anything, but that wouldn't be now. But anyway, we are moving on with the excerpts that I have collected here. And yeah, this time it's not really a news piece. This is something I just wanted to talk about. Just some talk about a Night Dive Quake 3 remaster. And it wasn't like... I don't even know. I think it was a week ago when I first was thinking like maybe a like Quake 3 remaster would in some ways work by Night Dive, but at the same time, would it in practice? It's a really, really tough question because, yeah, it was about a week ago when I was thinking they could maybe just like integrate, just as they did with Quake 1 and 2 remasters, they could integrate the expansion, the only one expansion that Quake 3 got, that's Quake 3 Team Arena, and at the same time, just put all the tracks that are in the official soundtrack of Quake 3 into the game, and maybe even making a new official soundtrack for the remaster specifically, because the soundtrack very much is odd with Quake 3. I don't know what was wrong with it, like when it was making it with Sonic Mayhem and Frontline Assembly, but like, first of all, Frontline Assembly isn't part of the official soundtrack of Quake 3, like, it's separate from the game. There are way more tracks by Sonic Mayhem in the official soundtrack than what's in the game, and Frontline Assembly's tracks aren't there at all. And this really baffles me because I think Frontline Assembly didn't mind at the time talking about their involvement on Quake 3 or making the soundtrack for it. And yet, I don't know if it was a licensing issue with its software, that Frontline Assembly just didn't want to license the music. I have actually yet to just discover that, but like, this is why just very speculative. I could probably even, I don't even know how to Google this, but like Quake 3 Frontline Assembly. I just get the result for the soundtrack and everything like that, so I don't know. It does like say, for example, in the Wikipedia and a bunch of other pages I can see on the Google search here, that Frontline Assembly did compose the soundtrack for the video game Quake 3 Arena, but at the same time, I don't know what went wrong with, let's see, Quake 3, there we go. Also produced soundtrack for the... Damn it, I am so terrible with typing right now, there we go. It says here, Frontline Assembly composed the soundtrack for the video game Quake 3, Quake 3 Team Arena, which is... I mean, it first mentions, wait a minute, this is really weird, because, yeah, the Wikipedia article actually mentions Quake 3 Team Arena soundtrack, but not Quake 3 Arena soundtrack. Okay, that is also wrong. Well, it's not wrong, but it's just not mentioning the involvement of Quake 3 Arena as well. In October 1999, it was made public that the band had left their label Metropolis. Interesting. But, yeah, it's very weird that, like, I don't think they're... Well, the Wikipedia page certainly isn't crediting Frontline Assembly for Quake 3 Arena's soundtrack. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Was there a licensing issue with Frontline Assembly not allowing their involvement on the official soundtrack? I don't know. But their tracks aren't on the OST. They are in the game, but they aren't in the OST. And in turn, Sonic Mayhem's tracks aren't in... Like, all of the tracks aren't in the game, but a lot of them are in the OST. I can understand the latter, probably, because at the time, of course, you wanted to keep your game small, relatively small. I mean, the size that Quake 3 is about, like, half a gigabyte, which at the time, at the turn of the millennium, was quite a large size for a game. And, yeah, so they wanted to keep that small, and adding even more, because the tracks are also in WAV format in the game, so adding more WAV files... like a total of, I think it's 26 tracks that there are, that wouldn't work at all. So it would just increase the file size to freaking sky high. So yeah, I can understand the latter, that Sonic Mayhem didn't include the, or rather its software didn't include all the Sonic Mayhem tracks. But yeah, the Frontline Assembly question really is, it bothers me like hell. I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know. It's like the most logical reason would be a licensing issue, but there's no mentioning of that or anything like that, so I don't know. But yeah, that's one thing that Night Dive would do. Merge the expansion, of course, and then just redo the soundtrack, put all the Sonic Mayhem tracks into the game. It's another question if they want to do a separate OST or a new OST which has all the Sonic Mayhem tracks and all the Frontline Assembly tracks from both Quake 3 Arena and Team Arena. Yeah, but those are the two things, as well as, oh yeah, there's a third thing actually. This is funny because I wanted to mention when I was starting to think about this. It was a week ago, and not too many days after. Former professional player of Quake Champions, Maxter, tweeted that like it would be. He tweeted the intro cutscene of Quake 3, and he just said like it would be really really nice to see these like upscaled or just an HD versions of these, just like in Quake 2's remaster. We saw that same thing. And like it was so funny. Like I just previously thought about like what if Night Dive made one, and then Maxter started thinking about the same thing. Right? I hadn't even talked to him or anything like that, but I did reply to him. I in fact have to find my reply. What I did, basically the same thing that I just told about the soundtrack and everything. But let's see. Where's just a bunch of these. When did he even tweet about that? There it is. 23rd of, pretty much on Tuesday this week, yeah. 23rd of July. And I replied, like, first of all, Maxter said, I know it's been only a year since its software released Quake 2 Enhanced, or Remastered, but I would love to see Quake 3's intro with a modern CGI. Maybe this Quake gone? Fingers crossed, is what Maxter said. And I replied... just mentioning, like, I've been thinking about this, yeah, not too long ago even. If Night Dive was to do it again, there's a lot they could do for a Quake 3 remaster. The cutscenes is one thing, as well as actually putting the Quake 3 OST into the game, because there are Sonic Mayhem tracks in the OST that aren't in the game. Also, remastering the Quake 3 Team Arena and merging it into the remastered main game wouldn't be a bad idea. And speaking of the OST, maybe they could talk with Sonic Mayhem and Frontline Assembly to create a new OST that has all the tracks from both the game and the original OST. Yeah, this is what I mentioned, basically. And, yeah, those are the three things that would make it worth it. But one thing that absolutely I don't think would make it worth it, and this is a really crucial thing, is just the multiplayer of it. And Quake 3 is primarily a multiplayer game. And if they're going to make that in the Kex engine, I don't know if it'll be a very successful... Well, I don't know about successful, but just like... as popular, for example, as Quake Live right now, although there are significant differences to Quake Live and Quake 3, even though most people would just say, well, it's just Quake 3 but modernized. No, there are differences. I don't want to get into those, and please don't piss off people who play Quake Live versus who play Quake 3, and yeah, just with that statement, don't do that. But yeah, there's Quake Live, but then there's also just the original Quake 3, and that has the sort of client-server netcode that is just a lot better than what Kex Engines is in the Quake 1 remaster and Quake 2 remaster, at least what I've noticed. I don't know if it's entitled like client-server, but like there are... I had a lot of fun playing like Quake 1 remastered and Quake 2 remastered multiplayer, but there are significant differences between, like, especially between continents. And yeah, there are just the netcode isn't comparatively that good. That's one thing that wouldn't make it worth it to make a Quake 3 remaster, but we never know. That's just one thing that I had in mind. And in fact, I don't know if Night Dive has just learned their lesson, or Quake 3 Arena just wasn't put on, or rather, it just was put on sale, and they're not making it. Just last. I don't even know when this was. It was very recently. Right now it's not on sale, but it would... Wait a minute, it's 15 euros? Quake 3 Arena is 15 euros. Why? But Quake 1 and 2 remastered are 10 euros. But Quake 3 Arena, which isn't remastered, is 15. I have no idea. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see if something gets announced in QuakeCon, but I highly, highly doubt it, but it would be very, very cool if they did. Because I have at least three they're saturating. God damn it, Necrodoom. A Quake even, of course. Anyway, yeah, I have at least like 3 things in mind that would make it absolutely worth it to make, but there is one crucial thing that might not make it so worth, and that's the netcode of Kex Engine. And yeah, crossplay would also be very nice, but yeah, it's I don't know. But yeah, on to from the speculative thingamajig to more music, and it is now 20, or I should say this in American time, 8:19 p.m. So in about 40 minutes, we're starting our Eurobros community session. I'm actually going to play, let's see, well, I'm still going to play like one track at a time, but after that, I'm going to do one piece of new thingamajig, and then I'm just going to let the trackers roll. So to say, and until we actually start. But the next track is by Mellow D, as in the word mellow and then dash D. It combines melody. This is a Necrodoom level pun. You didn't even have to make this, and I'm mad. Anyway, it's a pretty good track. The thing is that it's called Cloud Complex, but just be warned when you just hear this track, and I think it's nearly at the very beginning, it might call you a wanker.
FPS Tracker Radio.
Impressive.
All the ambitious girls, yeah, in a good condition. No man can use it for one night function. Woman of your body, woman of your shape, woman jump up over the body, love great. And in a theater, you are good face. Not just your body, listen, and your pretty face.
FPS Tracker Radio.
Playing the best tunes in town.
Cloud Complex by Melody. Yeah, that was very, like, ambient track, but I have no idea. Like, when Melody just experiments with a lot of things first. I have no idea what those even, like, those British cooking samples were. It says, like, all samples by me, speeches by Ozone, thanks a million. I have no idea. That certainly didn't sound like Ainsley, so I have no idea. But, yeah, cool little track. The last piece of news I have here. First, I want to say, just in the FPS Tracker Radio, I mainly focus on the smaller indie FPS games, retro FPS, and boomer shooter stuff. But I do want to cover, like, briefly some bigger games as well. And this time, I'm just covering very briefly Battlefield 2042 and Dead Space. Who asked for this? Why is this a thing? Anyway, moving on. More music. I think I have the, let's see, Batra Moore. Yeah, My Sleepy Soul, or RNI, My Sleepy Soul. I have no idea why the abbreviation is at the very start there, but yeah. It's a nice little jazzy track. I don't know what this is more, funk or jazz. I think it's kind of both. I don't even know if it can be both, but like a jazz funk. That's basically what it is. Oh, no, actually, no. I have one track before that. It's by 8BM, and it's a very recent track. Like, I think 8BM is just a, how would I say, modern-day tracker composer very much. And this track is called Captain Snurg Rebellion. But I think, actually, since it's now 20:30 or 8:29 p.m. here, in about 30 minutes we're starting the Eurobros Game Day session. Since I have no more new stuff, I'll just let the music play. So first we have Captain Snurg Rebellion, then by 8 p.m. Then we have RNI My Sleepy Soul by Batra Moore, Lada by Skaven. I think I'll just get to that very briefly, but yeah, we're going to play two trackers, and I'll get right back to you. This is Captain Snurg Rebellion by 8BM.
FPS Tracker Radio. Impressive. Trekker Radio. Impressive.
And we're back. That was Captain's Nerd Rebellion by 8BM and My Sleepy Soul by Baitrimore. Oh, I gotta check one thing. Okay, it's not automatically advancing that. Next track is by a Finnish tracker composer called Skaven. Quite a known name in the demo scene, especially in the 90s, and he also composed he was one of the composers for the soundtrack of Unreal Tournament. And but way before he did that, or even tracks for, I don't know if he did tracks for Unreal, but Unreal Tournament he certainly did. I think Razorback was one of his tracks. But yeah, way before that, he was part of the demo scene, did a bunch of very goofy little tracks, some even very amazing tracks. Even teamed up with Purple Motion, another Finnish tracker composer, to do soundtracks for different games, as well as just demo scene blockbusters, so to say. I don't know. People might remember the tracker called Unreal, or Second Reality. It was labeled Unreal 2, but I think it was also referred to the Second Reality. People definitely remember that track. That was by Skaven and Purple Motion and the entirety of Future Crew in general, the whole Kijin or demo scene group. But yeah, next up we have Skaven's really goofy track. It's called Lada, and I think, given that it's named after the car brand Lada, this track definitely just depicts the quality of Lada and just how it is to drive very, very well. Let's give that a listen.
FPS Trekker Radio.
I spill my drink.
Come on.
FPS Trekker Radio.
I just love that track. It's so goofy in all freaking places. There's even Arnold at the very beginning just saying, "Come on, start the damn thing." Ah, stupid ladder. But yeah, it's a goofy little track. I love Scovin's work all around, whether it's from the 90s or just way past the turn of the millennium that he did. Very, very good stuff. Amazing little thing. But yeah, next up we have, I think I'm just gonna let the trackers roll and switch to the usual stream screen, the please stand by screen, before we start the Euroburrows community session, which is in 15 minutes. So up next we have, let's see, what should I even put here? We have Comin by Archangel, and then Kilgan by Muffler, rather, and then brand new White Coat by Kadra. I think those are the tracks that I think I am able to just play before Louvius Bateau Ivre, or Ivre, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I assume that French. But yeah, Archangel's coming, and then Muffler's Kilgan, and then Kadra's brand new White Coats coming up next. Before we start the Euroburst community session, I'm going to silently, or well, in the meantime, switch to the freaking standby screen. So we shall be right back. Stay tuned.
FPS Tracker Radio.
Playing the best tunes in town.
FPS Tracker Radio. Impressive. FPS Tracker Radio.
I spill my drink.